What's good, people? Welcome back. It's Jem here. Have you ever used any of these types of phrases? That wasn't failure, guys. We need to call that learning. This team doesn't raise problems. We only bring solutions. No, that's a negative way to think about it. We have to be more positive. Although these types of phrases, this talk around positive psychology is well intended, I have found that working with teams and organizations, this approach, it can be naive. I don't even know how to describe this. It's this kind of weird, robotic, veneer persona whereby you have to constantly jump down people's throats with positivity to reframe what they're saying. That they should never ever speak about difficult things. Don't have those difficult conversations. Don't view the world in that light or in that perspective because it's not seen as positive. And I want to talk about the impact it has on teams when you're coming at them with this toxic positivity. In fact, the impact that it not just has on teams, that it has on your own peers, in your own community, and also in yourself when you're trying to live up to these positivity standards all the time. Imagine always being that person that when they tell you that something isn't working or that something is difficult or uncomfortable and it's taboo, your response is to help them see it in a different light, whereby you don't acknowledge their feelings and you may even make them feel guilty and ashamed to even talk about these things. What do you think the response or the effect is going to be? Often you learn about the impact you have on teams, good and bad, when you've left. And what I came to learn was that I was an impediment for a team improving, for them breaking through, that artificial harmony stage. Because whenever conflict came up and they wanted to speak about difficult things, my response was to try and reframe it and offer them a different perspective. Eventually, what that turns into is people don't talk up about things to that coach or that scrum master anymore because, Jem's always going to be positive about this. He's got no tolerance in listening to these difficult feelings or these difficult ideas or conversations or this dysfunction that I've raised, and he's going to shut me down. And that's really a big problem if you're an Agile coach or a scrum master, because our role is about helping teams and organizations continuously improve. We need to hear the voices of the system to have the opportunity to make those improvements. But if we're shutting people down and we're constantly trying to get them to reframe and see things in a different light, we're not going to be able to get them to serve up that empiricism, to serve up that evidence, subjective or objective, so that we can actually do something about it, so we can understand where it's coming from. And also, remember, for people's mental health, you think you're doing someone a favor by constantly reframing what they're saying or not acknowledging their feelings or telling them that they're being toxic or they're not being constructive. That can be a really heavy weight to bear because they won't be speaking about what's going on for them if you're labeling them as being negative all the time. It is acceptable to let a team know that they can raise problems and dysfunctions without having solutions. It is acceptable for them to tell you they're having a shitty day and things aren't working and they're feeling frustrated without you having to fix anything. Just listen in to what's up. When you acknowledge that, that can be enough for that person to begin to do something which could be useful for them. But by shutting down conversations too early, because it's like you want to protect this persona, or you have this belief that you have to always be in this robotic, positive, veneer stance because that's what professional coaching is meant to be, which is absolutely not. It's almost as though, I felt that maybe I was serving my own need for my own image at the time versus helping that person meet their own needs of being heard. Toxic positivity is a thing. Have you experienced this? It'd be great to get your thoughts on this. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe.